Speaking at Delhi in December 1968, Dr. Radhakrishnan said, "We are lacking, even today, public spirit and patriotism. We are still concerned about our own little interest. If these interests are satisfied, we do not seem to bother about what happens to others. That motive of service above self has not yet got into our life. We talk about and profess that, but in actual practice, we are far away from profession we make. The excessive preoccupation with the self produced by a process of general demoralization set in motion by the two world wars and by the spread of a materialist ideology which has undermined the sense of values by its insistence that ends justify the means has manifested itself. Even outside, the landscape is no less depressing. Our failure to make constructive use of our intelligence and our unwillingness to resist our destructive impulses have unleashed evils in the lives of men and women which have rendered their existence, and we find ourselves wondering like Macbeth whether life is really worth living. Accordingly, the educator's task is to rear good individuals who will be competent and qualified to play their part worthily and effectively in this complex world. Indeed, he must let individuality grow out of the materials of each child's nature, fashioned by whatever forces, strong or weak, that nature may include. But that is a task not easy to accomplish. Every educator cannot produce human excellence. Every teacher cannot turn out good individuals. To do that, an educator must have a good philosophy. If this philosophy is to be adequate and satisfying, it has to be founded upon the spiritual values of truth, beauty, and goodness. There is a philosophy of the spirit which asserts the supremacy of the spirit and further aim beyond them. It desires to do what is right for the sake of doing what is right, to know the truth for the sake of knowing the truth, and it has a third desire which is not so easily stated, but which I will now call the desire for beauty. These three desires, and these alone, are the desires of the spirit, and they differ from all other desires in that they are to be pursued for their own sake and can indeed only be pursued for their own sake. If they are pursued for some ulterior end, they change their nature. So the spirit has three activities and three alone, as it has three desires, namely the normal, the intellectual, and the aesthetic activities. And he will view rightly the vital problems of life and education. He will become not merely a routine follower of a course of study, but a dynamic force in the lift he touches. He will be able to guide some of the life force of the country into useful channels and so to influence future action. He will regard our great factual heritage not as something must be divided into subjects and learned by peoples, but as something that is used when the past can help. Sir, with reference to your letter dated 10th November 1977, I write to inform you as follows. While considering the budget proposals for 1978, the Council of Ministers decided that the number of telephones having trunk calls facility might be kept to the minimum, and that in all other cases the facility might be cut off. In pursuance of the above decision, the following instructions are issued. Only the phones installed for the use of the head of the department and the officer immediately below him should have the trunk calls facility. The heads of departments themselves can consider the case of regional and district officers under their control and send up consolidated proposals to the administrative department of the secretariat concerned for final orders. The administrative department of the secretariat may issue necessary orders on this matter in consultation with finance department. However, in each of the regional and district offices, only one officer should be provided with this facility. The head of department and the heads of offices are requested to maintain a register to record trunk calls made from each phone having the facility. The details of the call, including its duration, should be recorded in the register. The heads of departments are also requested to issue immediate instructions to their subordinates in this regard as suggested above. Therefore, the Home Department will finalize the list of such officials and the residential funds of officers. Yours faithfully. Please share to your friends who are going to prepare S.S.C. stenographer or confidential assistant. Thank you.